So start with today's session. This was one question we had left, which we ended Friday's session with. I'll just solve this question here. 1 second. Yeah. So for those, I don't know if some people are new here or not, but for those who are new, I'll just give a brief of what this question is. There's this guy, Tim. He cycles from his house to John's house, and then there's a school. This is Tim's house, this is John's house, and this is the school. He travels this distance without stopping. The average speed between the 2 points is 26 km/h. The distance from John's house to Tim's house is 0.3 times the distance from Tim's house to John's house. So if this is D1 distance and this is D2 distance, D1, sorry, then the distance between John's house and Tim's school, which is D2, is 0.3 times D1, which is distance between Tim's house and John's house. This is one equation given. Another equation is given associated with speed. Tim's speed from John's house to Tim's school was Tim's speed from John's house to Tim's school, which is S2, was twice that of Tim's speed from Tim's house to John's house, which is S1. This is another equation given. What was Tim's average speed from John's house to Tim's school? Now, in this case, we have to find the average speed from John's house to Tim's school, which is this one, D2. If you look at the equation, in order to avoid any ratios preferably, we will convert everything in the favor of D1 or S1, okay? Because you want to avoid fractions here. If you look at these two equations, 1 and 2, you want to avoid fractions here. Henceforth, we will convert everything into D1 or S1. So based on that, S2, which is speed between John's house and Tim's school, will be D2 upon T2. So T2 will be equal to, D2's value is 0.3, from equation 1 is 0.3 D1 upon S2 will come bottom, and S2's value is 2 S1. I will keep it as it is. I'm not changing this here, okay? In another situation, in another scenario, I know S1 will be equal to D1 upon T1, and henceforth T1 will be D1 upon S1. This is another equation 3 and 4 here. Now, I also know there is the total average speed is 26. Okay, which is given. So average speed between the two, between Tim's house and school will be 26 is equal to D1 plus D2, which is the total distance. D1 is part distance, D2 is another distance, upon time taken total, T1 plus T2. This is another equation 5. So this is equation 3 and this is equation 4. This is another equation 5. Now all I will do is I'll replace this and these two values in this equation. So 26 is equal to D1 plus 0.3 D1. D2's value comes from equation 1 here, upon T1 value, sorry, 1 second. Upon T1 value will come from this part, D1 upon S1 plus T2's value will come from equation 4, which is 0.3 D1 upon 2 S1. Right? So this can also be written as 26 is equal to 1.3 D1 upon I'll average this out. So I will have 2 D1 plus 0.3 D1 upon 2 S1. 1.3 and this will get cut here, 20. Further, D1 and D1 will cut here easily. So what I am left with is, or I'm not cutting D1 yet, okay? Just to make it simpler for you, I'm not cutting D1 yet. I'm just cutting 1.3 and 26, which will yield 20. So I'll say 20 will be equal to D1 upon D1 will be a common denominator, it will be the common part from these two parts. So this will be equal to 2.3 upon 2S1. D1 will get cut here. So this can also be written as 20 equal to 2S1 upon 2.3. 2 and 20, it's divisible by 10. So S1 will be 23 kilometer per hour. S1 is the speed between Tim's house and John's house. What I have to find is, the question is Tim's average speed from John's house to his school, which is S2. Now from the equation 2, it can be derived that S2 is equal to 2 into S1, which is 2 into 23, which is 46 kilometer per hour, which is what I have to find. Is this clear? Any doubts, any questions in this? One second. Doubts. Let me open the chat box. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. Any doubts, any questions in this so far? Okay. Okay. We'll move to the next one then. Okay. Here you are given some graphic and there are people image photos in this. What you have to find is you have to count the number of people with mustache in the picture below. Your options are provided 12, 16, 18 and 22. You have to count the number of people with mustaches. Please, in this kind of question, if you observe very carefully, don't, in this question specifically, you may go vertically like this, counting vertically like this, but it will be quite time consuming and it may be confusing also at times. But if you observe the geometry of the figure, they are all organized in some kind of a row diagram here, like this. It's some kind of row observed very easily in this part. So please go from left to right or from top to bottom, whichever suits you, okay? I'm not saying any one is the correct answer, sorry. I'm suggesting whichever, if from top to bottom suits you better and you are able to follow it better, then follow that. Go from top to bottom. But don't randomly go around the figure searching for just mustache faces, okay? Vishwa, Divya, Kavya, correct answer. In this case, if there are new people, please add your chat answers in the chat box and you just have to address it to me. You don't have to put it in the common thing. Okay, one second. Naishi, Aisha, wrong answer. Divya, correct answer. Vishwa, Kavya, correct answer. Sanchi, Kushi, Yesha, wrong answer. Naishi, wrong answer. Shimoli, wrong answer. Palak, wrong answer. Vansh, sorry, one second. Palak, Vansh, correct answer. I'm sorry. Anvi, wrong answer. Tisha, wrong answer. Rumil, wrong answer. Mahi, Twisha, wrong answer. Okay, okay. Let's just solve this, okay? It's very simple. Yeah, okay. In this case, I'm more comfortable going from top to bottom instead of rows because there are some overlaps for me. Okay, it's difficult for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are fine. There is no problem. 5. So there is not a problem. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So 18 faces are there in this figure with mustache. They are not beards, they have mustache. This guy has a mustache here. If you're confused, this guy has a mustache here. This guy has a small mustache here. These are some of the instances which you might have missed out. Even this person, there's a possibility few of you have missed out, might have missed out on that. Okay. In this case, I was more comfortable going in columns rather than rows because it's too long a picture for me. But if you're comfortable going from face to face in a row format, then please follow that. I was more comfortable taking it parts like this in columns. That's why I did it. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, we'll move to the next one then. I have done this question earlier, but this question has come out as a doubt by one of the student. So I'll solve this here. But still, if you know the solution, please you can go ahead and answer in the chat box. Okay. Here there is some series given of number 101, 103, 107, 109, 127, and so on till 163. There's a missing number here in the middle. You have to find which that missing number is. Pratvi Vishwa, correct answer. Anshi, correct answer. Trisha, wrong answer. Tanvi, correct answer. Divya, wrong answer. Meera, wrong answer. Vansh, correct answer. Anya, wrong answer. Trisha, correct answer. Anvi, correct answer. All right. In this case, if you very carefully observe all the numbers, they are all prime numbers. None of them have any factors except for themselves and the number 1. Hence, the prime number which is between 109 and 127 is only 1, which is 113. This is a series of prime numbers. The first observation that comes to your mind is, are there any factors? They are odd numbers, very clearly. All of them are odd numbers. But even if they are odd numbers, they don't follow any sequence. So the next question comes, if they are odd numbers and if they are not following any sequence, like, in terms of difference. So this is 2 difference. Between them, the difference is 5. Between them, the difference is again 2. We have the missing number, so I will skip that. Between these two, the difference is, one second, what is it? 131. The difference is 4. So 2, 5, 2, something else, 4, and then here it's 6. So there is no logical sequence in terms of difference. So I will say Okay, they are odd numbers. Let me see if they are prime numbers. That comes the next. If you establish that these series is of odd numbers, then you should either opt for, there are two options here. Either you opt for some kind of relationship where you say it could be x square plus 1, or you opt for some kind of series of say another is a prime factor, or you opt for another kind of series where you say it's 2x plus 1. This is not possible because the difference is coming very weird. This is quite possibility, but it didn't went through. The last option in this case was a prime, and which came out to be the correct one. Okay.
मैम
Yes.
आपने 3 और 7 के बीच में 5 क्यों लिखा? It's 4 ना?
It's 4. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Any
तो मैम
doubts? Any
सीरीज,
questions? हाँ.
यस मैम, तो सीरीज तो मेंटेन हुआ ना, 2 4 2 और बाद में वापस 4.
4 6 3. No, this will be 3 plus. This will be 2 again. Sorry. This will be 139, 149, 10. This will be 149, 151, which is 2. This is 6. नहीं है ना? There is no logical sequence.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts, any questions in this? Okay, we'll move to the next one. This I have solved it earlier, but there is a doubt by somebody. So I'll just take it up again. What it says is, what is the number of equilateral triangles of side 3 centimeters, which can be placed in a square of side 6.8. So I'm just going to draw a square in the first go, roughly. This is a square which is given. Another thing which I am given is a triangle roughly of this side, roughly. Proportionately, the triangle is of this side, 3, 3, and these are equilateral triangle. This is 6.8 and this is 6.8. You have to count how many triangles one can fit in this square. Please note, you cannot break or overlap. Overlapping is not possible, and you cannot also break the triangle. Anshi, wrong answer. You have to fit the equilateral triangle as an equilateral triangle and not as a broken part. Okay. So in this case, if you are going to go ahead with finding the area of the square and then finding the area of the triangle, you might not come across. I mean, it might not solve for you. You will get a higher number. So I say somewhere around 10 or 11 it will come about. If you try solving this question with that method, it won't come through. Anshi, Tanvi, Yesha, Ashwi, wrong answer. Khushi, correct answer. Kavya, wrong answer. Like I said, Kavya, you cannot solve it by simply dividing the area of the square by area of the triangle. What happens is, in that case, even the remainder pieces, the residual pieces, are even the cumulative area of the residual pieces also gets counted, which is what we don't have to do in this case, because some kind of relationship is given between the side and between the equilateral side and the side of the square. You will literally have to draw the diagram of how this figure of 3 by 3 by 3 equilateral triangle fit in here. So chalo, let's do this. So in this case, I know it is 3. This is 6.8. So if I were to add 2 equilateral triangle on one side, say on this side, if I were to add 2 equilateral triangles side by side of 3 sides, I will be left with 0.4 on this side and 0.4 on this side, because it is 3 plus 3, 6 will be the total length. and 0.8 is something which I'll be left behind, and this will be part 1.4 and part 0.4. So I say, chalo, this is possible, no problem. Similarly, on the opposite side, because this is 6.8, this dimension is going to be less than 6 because this is 3 and this is also 3. So I'll say, yahan se bhi I can draw the same equilateral triangle like this. Once I do that, I can also draw another equilateral triangle here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once I do that, I need to check this distance. How do I check this distance? Is I draw an altitude here. Sorry. I draw an altitude here. This dimension will be 1.5. This will be 3. So that dimension of the altitude, 1 second, will come to 9 minus 2.25. The square root. So this will come to roughly 2.5 something or 2.6 something. I'll put it that way. If this is 2.6, the remainder distance between the two trapeziums, which I have drawn here. 1 second. Will be 5.2 minus 6.8. 1.6. This will come to about 1.6. Here, what I can do is this clearly gives me the possibility of fitting another equilateral triangle here and a third another equilateral triangle here, which will be 7th and 8th. So in this geometry, you cannot fit more than 8 equilateral triangles in a square of 6.8 by 6.8, and the equilateral triangle have to be of the side 3. Is that clear? Any doubts, any questions in this? In this case, you actually don't have any option but to literally draw it out. If you want to use it as a reference, you may use the area formula as a reference, which will come to, I think, somewhere 10 or 11. So what it means is my answer cannot be more than 10 or 11, simply. That's all it gives you. But in order to find the exact answer, you will have to draw this geometry out. Where you say, okay, 6.8 में से ये 0.4 रहेगा, यहाँ पे भी 0.4 रहेगा, but what is this distance? So once I find this distance is 1.6, I know I can fit one triangle here and one triangle here, but I cannot fit two triangles on that side. Hence, this comes to be correct. Now you may say, what if this edge which is there, what if I would have taken this whole triangle on this side and this part on this side, leaving 1.8 here? I would say it would have been, if you would have done that, it would have been difficult to fit the 8 triangle. It would have been a little bit difficult to fit the 8 triangle. Henceforth, I had taken it in the middle. Is this clear? Any doubts? Okay, we'll move to the next one. So here you are given some statements, A, B, C, D. What you have to find is which of these codes celebrate technology. There are some codes which are cynical. In the options, you will have to find which celebrates technology. It does not criticize or is cynical about technology. One or more option is possible in this case. One or more option is quite possible in this case. One or more option to be true is possible. That's what I mean. Please write your answers in the chat box here. 1 second. Yesha, Tanvi, Krisha, Ria, Heer, Niva, wrong answer. Shrujal, correct answer. Man, Divya, Khushi, Pratvi, wrong answer. Jay, wrong answer. Trisha, wrong answer. Vishwa, correct answer. Khushi, Palak, wrong answer. Please read the statements very carefully. It's very evident. Anvi, Ashvi, wrong answer. Dia, correct answer. Sanchi, Drumil, wrong answer. Manya, Twisha, correct answer. Tanvi, correct answer. Niva, Anshi, wrong answer. In this case, let's just go option by option. The first one says, did that search engine really know what you want? Or are you playing along, lowering your standard to make it seem clever? The first option clearly says that, are you trying to lower your standards by being dumb in front of a search engine? It is a criticism on the function of the search engine, so it is wrong. The second part, I fear that we are beginning to design ourselves to suit digital models of us. And I worry about leaching or leakage of empathy and humanity in the process. A critique on technology developments and its impact on humanity and empathy. So even B is wrong. It's not celebrating technology, but it's criticizing it, negatively criticizing it. Criticizing can be positive also, but this is a negative criticism. C, the approach to digital culture I abhor would indeed turn all the world's book into one book. Abhor means disgust. The approach to digital culture I disgust or I feel disgusted about would indeed turn all the world's book into one book, which is again a very bad criticism on the user, on the convention of technology. The last option, what a computer is to me is the most remarkable tool that we can ever come up with. It is equivalent of a bicycle for a mind. Only this is the one which celebrates technology, which says, see, a bicycle for a human being is a mode of transport which really helps you move faster. This is a kind of a metaphor where it is a bicycle of a mind, is a kind of a metaphor, which means computer is a kind of bicycle which will help your mind move faster. So it is the D is the only code which celebrates technology. Any doubts, any questions in this? Okay, I'll move to the next one then. Okay. In a CBI, so this is a situation given. This first part is a situation description which is provided. And based on this description, you are supposed to find the acceptable assignments of the criminal and the investigator. Let's just read it and then I will give you a hint to find the answer, okay? What it says, the CBI is investigating a dangerous gang of 3 criminals. There are 3 criminals. The criminals are Donga, Tridoon, and Daku. The investigation team consists of 6 people: Pradyuman, Daya, Frederick, Salunke, Taraka, and Puri. Each criminal is to be investigated by exactly 2 investigators. This is another one condition provided to you, that one criminal will be investigated by 2 investigators. Another condition which is provided is each investigator investigates at least 1 criminal. One investigator at least investigates 1 criminal, minimum. The investigation is to be conducted subject to the following constraints. These are the constraints. Pradyuman and Daya do not investigate the same criminal. Frederick and Salukhe investigate the same criminal. They both go with the same criminal. If Frederick investigates, this is a condition. If Frederick investigates Tridun, then Tarika will have to investigate Daku. This is another condition provided. You're given these constraints. Which of the following are the acceptable assignments of the investigator to potential criminals? In this case, what you have to do is you have to go from option by option by option and check if all the three statements are followed in that condition. Don't go in random, don't go by actually finding who is assigned to whom, but go from option 1, option 2, option 3 and check if all the three conditions are getting satisfied or not. Only then you will be able to find the correct answer. One or more, needless to say, one or more options is possible in this case. Where should I start? Dia wrong answer. Dia, Sanchi, Drumil, Manya, Twisha, Tanvi, wrong answer. Niva, correct answer. I'm not sure. Wait, I think I'm missing the timestamp. I don't know from where you have started answering. But Kushi, correct answer if it is for this. Yesha, correct answer. Shrujal, wrong answer. Ashvi, Anvi, Dia, Ashvi, wrong answer. In this case, one or more option is possible. Chalo, let's go from option to option. The first thing says, Frederick and Salunke were together. They investigate Tridun. Pradyuman and Daya investigate Donga. Here, because of the second statement itself, option A gets wrong because it's the first condition says Pradyuman and Daya do not investigate the same criminal. Okay, so A is wrong. The next one, Frederick and Salunke investigate Donga, which is fine because they both investigate some same criminal. Tarika and Pradyuman investigate Tridun, and Daya and Purvi investigate Daku. In this case, if you observe, all three conditions are getting satisfied, but if you can gauge, I mean, you can raise an argument. What about the third condition? If Frederick investigates Tridun, then Tarika investigates Daku. But this is subject to Frederick. Tarika will investigate Daku, subject to Frederick is investigating Tridun, only in that case. So in this case, option B is correct. It's satisfying all the three conditions. And of course, these two conditions which were provided earlier. The next part, Tarika and Purvi investigate Donga. Frederick and Pradyuman investigate Tridun, and Salunke and Daya investigate Daku. In this case, Salunke and Frederick, they are separate. But the second condition says Frederick and Salunke, they need to be together. Hence, C is wrong because of these two parts. The next part, D. Daya and Purvi investigate Tridun. Tarika and Pradyuman investigate Daku, and Frederick and Salunke investigate Donga. I don't see any kind of wrong between these two, where Pradyuman and Daya, they do not investigate, which is followed. Pradyuman and Daya, they are investigating different criminals. Frederick and Salunke investigate the same, which is happening here very clearly. And the last part, the last condition is Frederick, if Frederick investigates Tridun, in which case Frederick does not investigate Tridun. So we won't be looking at the third condition. Hence, option D is also correct. So the correct answer is B and D in this case. Any doubts, any questions in this? Please understand, in this kind of question, you have to go from option by option and check all the conditions. It will be much faster to find the answer that way. Okay, we'll move to the next one then. Yeah. What you're given here is you're given some condition where 9 plus 8 means 9 is child of 8. 7 into 6 means 6 is wife of 7. And yeah, that's it. Then which of the following statements can be derived? One or more option is correct in this case. One or more option is correct in this case. It's very simple. In this case, what you do is you first decode this part. You decode what does this equation which is provided here means, and then go by option. First, just simply sit and write down what does the equation mean. That's it. It will be much easier for you. Whenever this kind of relationships kind of questions are provided, first sit down and just write what does that equation actually mean. So let's just try doing this, okay? Do we have to? No, you don't have to follow board mass in this case. You just follow from left to right, basically. Don't follow board mass rule here. In this case, chalo, let's just write it. 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3, which is here, means 2 is child of 3. Then comes 3 into 1, which means 3 is wife of 1. Then comes 1 plus 4. 1 plus 4 means again 1 is the child of 4. Then comes 4 into 5. And 4 into 5 means 4 is the wife of 5. Now, if I follow from A to B, 2 is the grandchild of 4. 2 and 4, okay? This and this. 2 is the child of 3. 3 is the wife of 1, which means 2 is the child of 3 and 1. 1, this is, I'm just writing here child, okay? Child. 1 is the child of 4. 1 is the child of 4 and 5. And 4 and 5, 4 is the wife. 4 is wife. And 3 is also wife. So what it says is, this is 1 is husband, and I think this is also husband as well. Okay. So what it means is 2 is the grandchild of 4. 2 is the grandchild of 4, which is true, of course. Once you do this, try making this diagram. It will be much faster for you. A is true. Next, 1 is daughter of 5. 1 is daughter of 5, which is also true. 5 is the grandfather of 3. 5 is the grandfather of 3. No, not established. 1 is the mother of 2. 1 is the mother of 2. 1 second.
Ma'am, isn't 1 the wife of 3?
Ha. 1 is the wife of 3. Sorry. I did mistake. So this is wife. 1 second. Wife and husband. Thank you. I don't know who said that, but thank you so much. And 1 is the mother of 2. 1 is the mother of 2, which is also true. So A, B, and D. All 3 are correct. Is this clear?
Can you explain this question again?
See.
Mom, how is B correct?
How is B correct? Chalo. In this case, chalo, you understood that much? 2 is child of 3. 3 is wife of 1.
Yeah.
1. Yeah. Okay. After this, I made this diagram. 2 is the child of 3 and 1. 1 is 2 is 1 second. I have sorry. I have to. This will be 1 and 3. 1 is wife of 3. And this I have inverted, sorry. I have read a mistake here. I've read it as an inverse. 1 is child of 4 and 4 and 5. Here also there is some mistake. It will be this one, sorry. 5 is the wife of 4. I mean, this is an invert one, where The second part is the wife and the first one is the husband. That's why. So if I were to draw this again, 2 is the child of 3 and 1. 1 is the wife, 3 is the husband. 1 is the child of 4 and 5. Here 5 is the wife and 4 is the husband. Okay. So it's a family tree which is shown. 2 is the grandchild of 4. So 2 is the grandchild of 4, which is correct. B, 1 is the daughter of 5. 1 is the daughter of 5. 1 is the wife and she is the daughter of 5, which is also correct. D, 1 is the mother of 2. 1 is the mother of 2, which is also correct because this is the wife and 2 is the child of 1. So D is also correct. Now is it clear? I had inverted it. I had inverted these two numbers. Yeah, so please be careful. Don't make mistakes the way I did it. Okay. Any doubts, any questions?
मैम
हाँ
जो 5 वाला है वो भी वाइफ है और 1 वाला भी वाइफ है, तो मतलब वो 5 वाला 1 वाले से बड़ा होगा मतलब.
हाँ, this is bigger. This is the grandparents. These are the parents and this is the child.
Oh.
Okay. Clear? Any doubts, any questions? Okay, let's move to the next. Here you're given a photograph and you're given some clips A, B, C, D. What you have to find is which of the parts in A, B, C, D are found in the larger photograph. There are some parts which are not there only, but they are present in the options. One or more option is possible in this case. So please write your answer. One second. Where have we started writing? Okay. Twisha, Yesha, Vishwa, Divya, Anshi, Tanvi, correct answers. Meera, wrong answer. Shrujal, partially correct answer. Just one second. Ashvi, Khushbu, yeah, Ashvi, Khushbu, Vishwa, Shrujal, Ria, correct answer. Drumil, wrong answer. Ye, correct answer. Heer, correct answer. Anvi, correct answer. Prakritiya, correct answers. In this case, the correct answer is B, C, and D. The part which you see here in A, which is that part, and that part are seen here. But if you observe the part which is happening, this gray part, sorry, I'll just remove this. But if you observe, this brown part which is happening in the background does not happen in this part with A. So A won't come. B is happening somewhere here. C happens somewhere here. D happens somewhere here. This is C, this is B, and this is D. Okay. So B, C, D are correct. Any doubts, any questions in this? Okay, let's move to the next one. Here, you're given this colored diagram here. What you have to find is there's a just simple rotation function is performed on this figure, on the question figure. You have to find which of the option or options, one or more option is correct. are a result of just rotation. No mirror is possible in this case. One or more answers are possible in this case, okay? Anshi, correct answer. Yesha, correct answer. Anvi, correct answer. Divya, wrong answer. Trisha, correct answer. Risha, wrong answer. Meera, wrong answer. Shrujal, correct answer. Manya, wrong answer. Yana, wrong answer. Diya, correct answer. Tanvi, Divya, wrong answer. Riya, correct answer. Khushbu, correct answer. In this case, just to make your life easier, it worked for me because they were top and bottom triangles. I just simply checked this triangle and this triangle. I didn't check anything else. I just checked these two triangles. And I was able to find the correct answer without any questions. Okay. Let's go from one by one. I can see two purple strips here. The issue happens in this part. Nowhere in the question figure with purple band on top, we have blue and green together. There is no blue and green coming together in the purple triangle. So A is wrong. B. With the case of B, I will go again by purple strip. The issue with B is the blue part and the green part. They both are flipped. If I were to rotate B in this direction, where the purple strip would come on top, the blue part will be coming on the right side and the green part should be coming on the left side. In B, it is inverse, so B is also wrong. With case of C, the issue happens again if I place myself here and here. It is completely rotated on where this green part, orange part, green, orange, dark green and purple, green, orange, dark green and purple happens on that side. When I look at the other part, orange, purple, green, and this purple band, even that happens correctly. There is no problem. Now I'm just trying to rotate it on the other side, and there is one issue which I observe when I move from, I am not looking at this because this inner part, which is green and orange, they are a little bit confusing. Now adjacent to this part, I will just look at the blue strips to start with, this strip, which to start with, because there is an evident yellow seen here. There is no evident yellow seen here. So C will also be wrong. D is the only one which is correct. And if you check along these two or any other part in terms of coloration, D will be the only option which is correct. This is wrong with C. Simple rotation means simply rotating feather. Yeah, it can be either clockwise, anti-clockwise. It's not provided. It's just said simple rotation. Okay. So Ria, it can be clockwise also. It can be anti-clockwise also. Any doubts, any questions in this? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Okay, this is a different genre where you're given a poem in that much part. What you have to find is the mood that the poem evokes: cynicism, nostalgia, happiness, or lust. In this case, one or more option is possible because if you look at the question, it says mood or moods either. So it's very simple. Read it very carefully. You'll automatically find the correct answer. There's no confusion or anything here.
मैम एक बार क्वेश्चन वापस एक्सप्लेन करो ना.
You read the poem which is given here. You have to find the mood that the poem evokes, the mood that the poem evokes. That's what you have to find. Cynicism, nostalgia, happiness, or lust from these options. Anya, partially correct answer. Tanvi, partially correct answer. In this case, one or more option is possible because if you look at mood, it is plural or singular. One or more option is possible. Vishwa, correct answer. Yesha, partially correct answer. Anya, Dyai, correct answers. Ria, wrong answer. Divya, Krishna, partially correct answer. Tanvi, correct answer. Khushbu, correct answer. Pratvi, correct answer. Niva, Shrujal, Ashvi, Heer, Vishwa, correct answer. Twishar, Meera, wrong answer. Manya, correct answer. In this case, the correct answer is cynicism and nostalgia. Now marriages happen in halls. They used to happen at home, honeymoon too, before they wandered into halls. So this is a part where it is remembering what it used to happen. So nostalgia is involved. Stage, actors, audiences from afar, receptions never took place, yet they would go on for days. Now reception include those who don't really figure. Show face, show envelope, grin for the camera, get out, not all that bad, quick and efficient, no one really cares. The last part, which is provided here, that is showing the mood of criticism. So far, till that much part shows nostalgia. So it is a showcase of cynicism as well as nostalgia, what it was versus what it is right now. And it is a very cynical, the author is in a very cynical mood of describing it. There's no happiness, no lust, nothing in it. So A and B are the correct answers in this case. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, we'll move to the next one then. Sure. I'll just quickly take this up. I wanted to move ahead, but let's just quickly take this up. You're given to consider a drip irrigation system in villages on hilly terrain. The terrain is hilly. Drip irrigation system is into consideration. Which of the following statement or statements are true? One or more option is possible. Bamboo pipes can be used to divert perennial springs on the hilltops to lower reaches by gravity. Please remember what is this describing is you are using bamboo tops to divert springs from hilltops to the lower reaches by gravity. Just 1 second, I have to pick this up. Hello. Yeah. So in this case, bamboo pipes are used to divert spring water from top to the bottom to the lower ends by gravity, which is possible in a hilly terrain easily, where you need some system or some vessel to divert water and to contain water. In hilly terrain, if you're using for water, the key here on a hilly terrain for collecting or using any irrigation system is diverting water by some method, pipes or any types of pipe or any material of pipe, and you use gravity for the flow of water. Pump system is not allowed. Should not be used in hilly terrains. So A is possible. If bamboo pipes have to cross a road, they can be taken above the land. Yes, if bamboo pipe were to cross a road, they can be taken above the land. There is no problem. So if this is a hilly terrain and the road is coming somewhere here, you have the possibility of taking the pipe here like that, or you also have the possibility of taking on the road itself. you don't always need to go to the ground and then take it up. In a hilly terrain, this is quite possible because the water won't stand. It will flow because this is a higher level and this is a lower level. So B is also possible. Irrigation system is useful for places with, this irrigation system is useful for places with high groundwater level. Please note, drip irrigation system में क्या होता है? There is a pipe which is run. This is in plan. The pipe is laid like this, and then within the pipe there are these small holes. These holes, they allow for water to drip in droplets on the soil. Soil के अंदर, soil के ऊपर, these pipes are laid on the ground itself, and then there are plants which happen on top. This pipe, through the small holes, allows the water to flow in droplets. This does not have any relationship. This irrigation system does not have any relationship with whether the groundwater table is high or low, irrespective. But if it was given a pump irrigation system, a pump irrigation system जैसा pump आता है ना, so there's this pump and then there is this handle, इसको आप ऐसे move करते हो, ऊपर नीचे move करते हो. Somebody will be handling the pump on and then moving it top and bottom. This pump, what happens in this kind of pump system, the pipe goes deep and then it cannot go deeper than 3 or 4 meters, 1 or 2 meters, which means only in high water table the pump irrigation system is used. Here we are talking of drip irrigation system, we are not talking of pump irrigation system, hence option C is not possible. Option D, bamboo pipes could be replaced with PVC pipes. Irrespective of the material, we need some pipe system to divert water. So D is also possible. So in this case, the options are A, B, and D. All are correct. Any doubts, any questions in this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll move to the next one. Yeah. Here you are given a pie diagram. In this case, please note, please check. You have to find whether the options 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct or not. But in this case, how do we do this is again, like we did earlier in the CBI investigation question. We go from option by option by option by option and check if it is correct or not. Simple. Don't decode everything. You're given a diagram which shows distribution of population in an apartment building. You have to find which of the options, which of the statements are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doctors are blue, engineers are red, businessmen are green, and designers are purple. First statement reads, doctor and businessmen combined is less than half the total residents. Doctors and businessmen, blue and green. Blue and green combined is less than half, which is correct, of course. There is no doubt about it. They are less than half. Now, if I say 1 is correct, 4 option will automatically be wrong. Why? Because the 4th option says doctors and businessmen combined is more than half, which is opposite of what 1 says. So between 2 and 3, about 1/3 of the population is engineers. Engineers, which is red, is 1/3, which is true. It is almost 120 degree. This angle is almost 120 degree, almost. So I will say 1/3 population to be engineers is of course true. The next option, engineers and designers combined is about 60%. Engineers and designers, which is red and purple, makes about 60% of the pop residents. Red and purple make about 60%, which is actually, which is roughly true because this is approximately 120. This is less than 120, but it will be, so this will be, this pi will be about 1 second, 100 divided by 3, almost. So engineers will approximately be 33.33 kind of thing because it's 1/3 or 120 degree. this will approximately be about 25 or 27 roughly, because it's less than 33.3, but it is definitely more than 1/4. It's because this is not 90 degrees. If this was 1/4, this would have been 90 degrees. So it's more than 25. It will be roughly around 27 or 28. I would put it that way. So eventually it will come up to about 60%. So even 3 is true. So in this case, 1, 2, and 3 all are correct. Any doubts, any questions?
Question
Okay.
again.
We'll move to the next one then.
Can you explain this?
I'll explain this later. It's very simple. Okay, I'll just take this up very quickly. I'll very quickly just take this up. Won't take more than 5 minutes for this. Okay.
Okay.
So in this case, what you're given is you're given this yellow tracing, and you have to see this mark. This is a red colored mark. Yahan pe there is a red colored mark which is given, which is a starting point of this yellow colored rolled paper. So all the options which you see here will have a red color mark on the edge, which means this is the starting point, this is the starting point, and this is the starting point. Okay. What it says is this yellow colored paper is rotating clockwise at constant rate of 1 revolution per 60 seconds. Pencil is touching the paper cylinder and moving from T1. T1 is the starting point. It moves from T1 to T2. This is 10 seconds. This in 10 seconds, it moves from T1 to T2. It stays at T2 for 10 seconds, which is constant, which means there will be a single line. And then it moves from T2 to T3 in 40 seconds. This is 40 seconds time frame. So if I were to construct the line which the pencil will leave, will be first a steeper angle because it's 10 seconds and it is moving in 10 seconds. This distance x is same. Okay, this distance x is same, which means yahan se yahan pe and yahan pe, that distance have to be same. This distance have to be same. That's what it means. So 10 seconds it will go because it's not moving. The pencil is there itself. Only the pencil is moving from top to bottom, and the cylinder is also rotating. So it will construct an inclined line. Then it will go constant because it stays there for 10 seconds here. And then for 40 seconds it goes, which means this will be a steeper angle. So in this case, option A will be the one which will be the correct one. There won't be any curved line. So if a cylinder is rotated, whatever, clockwise or anti-clockwise, and if I were to move a pencil, keep a pencil as it is and move it, the line will be inclined and not a curve. Please remember, you can try it on your own. I have tried it with a cylinder and a pencil. So it will be a curved, it will be an inclined line and not a curved line. Hence B, C, and D are all wrong in this case. Okay. Sure. We with this we'll add okay, one second. Yes, Mahi, just 1 second. Let me just end the recording. Yeah, thank you.